absence of her presence really does affect my daughter. Hopefully, well, I know eventually we'll be able to move past it, but for now, it hurts. I know there is someone out there who is experiencing the same amount of grief that I'm going through right now. And so I thought I would create this video. I thought I would do a reading for the collective on grief, on bereavement, and how to move past whatever you're going through right now, but especially grief. I am going to ask the cards what's important for you to do right now as you grieve, and what should be expected in the future, the near future. Because once you move past the storm, your blessings should pour down. there's 3. So maybe the collective did not intend for it to be just 2. It's 3. I see here there is a card. They are, I guess you would say they flipped out of order, or I am going to pick which card I think should be read first for the collective. So the first card that flipped out was this one. This is the Holy Grail. This refers to stop the endless searching. It says, the Holy Grail, stop the endless searching. Inner quest. So right now, this says to me, or I can interpret this card to mean it's important for you as you grieve right now to look within yourself for comfort and solace at this time that you are in your bereavement. I don't want to say journey, but I guess that's what it is. As you are in your bereavement journey, it is important for you to look within for answers and to seek solace within yourself, is what I gather from that card. And I'm going to also read to you the actual, not only my interpretation, but the book's interpretation of what that card means. So that was the Holy Grail. Hold on 1 second. It says here, Holy Grail is on page 88 if you have the book. It says, the Holy Grail is a mysterious, long-sought relic about which stories have been told through the ages. Some believe it holds the key to eternal life and divine union. Many devote their lives to discovering and processing it. It features in the legends of King Arthur. The knight Galahad achieved the vision of God through the Grail. In Christian mythicism, the Grail is the cup used by Jesus at the Last Supper and afterward by Joseph to catch blood at the crucifixion. It was taken to the Owl of Avalon and buried on Chalice Hill, which turned the Chalice well waters red. Pilgrims travel from all corners of the world today to drink from these holy waters. Some believe the Grail legend predates Christ and was inspired by the wells and cauldrons of Welsh and Celtic mythology. The Holy Grail is the ultimate spiritual quest. Many see quest as physical places to journey to, conquer or find, but perhaps the Grail is an invitation to go inward, to protect with the grace within, to find it without, to realize that this journey of drinking from the internal well is to find it deep within as the part of us that cannot be extinguished. Perhaps this is why the rose is a symbol that goes with the Grail, her petals calling us to spiral in, for it's there that we find the nectar of all that we've searched especially this collective that is dealing with the bereavement, we need to focus on those aspects. I feel like we forget to care for ourselves whenever we're going through grief. A lot of us even blame ourselves in a sense when someone passes away. We blame ourselves. Sometimes we'll even say, oh, I never should have gotten in a fight with that person. I never should have did this, or I never should have said that. You can't do that to yourself because that hurts you even more as you continue to go through your grief. So take care of yourself. Don't blame yourself. Seek therapy. Seek relaxation. Even this video can be a form of relaxation or a form of unwinding because this is ASMR content by yours truly. It can help you. It can help you get your mind off of it. But I do want to encourage you to seek therapy as well, because that is very important at this time. But yes, the Holy Grail, looking within yourself for solace, holding on to yourself is key, and taking care of yourself and resting is the important part for today. For the present, these things are important. So yes, you need to look at what your sacred water is. What is that for you in order to help you move through or move past your pain? That's what that card is saying to me. This reading, you cannot make this up. This is spot on. This is absolutely beautiful. I knew there was a reason why these cards popped out. I'm going to get to the interpretation from the book in a few minutes, but I want to go ahead to the Great Mother. I feel like I'm being called to go ahead and speak on the last card that I see here. This is the Great Mother, and I've gotten this card before, and it is a beautiful card. It is this beautiful picture of this ethnic woman, this black woman. She kind of reminds me of an African beauty, and she has this scarf or a job or some form of headdress on, and it has these beautiful flowers beaming or glowing through the darkness. It is so beautiful. At this time, it's saying, surrender to the mystery. Fall into her arms. So, from firsthand, from what I'm seeing, because I'm an individual that's not necessarily inside of the card itself, but I'm looking outside of the card and what I feel like it means before I get to the book. Your future, your future after your present is finished, holds outstanding blessings, but it says, the Great Mother ushered you in when you took your first breath, and she'll be there when you draw your last. And see, that's also going back. I want to interject for a second before I begin, before I continue the reading. That is going back to what we just discussed, grief, someone passing away. I just wanted to point that out. And she'll be there when you draw your last. She knows how challenging life on earth can be, that at times being human can be painful, lonely, and confusing, that the polarity and separation can be difficult when your soul remembers the oneness of Source. And I just mentioned Source at the beginning of this video. I said my grandmother, my fairy grandparent, went back to Source. But at the same time, it can be incredibly glamorous and sweet, it goes on to say. We often see things as either good or bad. When things go well, we make it mean that everything's okay. And when things don't work out, then perhaps we've done something wrong or have something to fix. I just said that a few minutes ago about blaming yourself. It goes on to say, we've forgotten that life on Earth isn't like that. Polarity is at the core of the Earth experience, and it's through the polar extremes that we grow the most. We're not meant to avoid the night, the shadow, and the winter. This life is but a single breath in the inextinguishable existence of your experience as a soul. Hand over your worries, hurt, sorrow, fears, and doubts to the Great Mother. Lay them on her altar. Return to the shortness of the soul. Fall fully into her arms. Surrender to the mystery woven through it all. Remember that while these extremes are difficult, they can also be magnificent. That unrestrained joy is closer to grief than we think, and perhaps the more wildly the pendulum, oh, I'm saying that correctly, of your life swings, the more you can say, I have truly lived. Wow, that was really, before I read the book's interpretation of this card, that was really what I said, just in a longer version, my interpretation before I read that. That was amazing. That was beautiful. I don't memorize the meanings of the cards, and I'm not going to do it for any other deck that I get after this deck. I just like to go off on what I feel whenever I interpret things, and whenever I look at the deck and what they say. I just like to do my own interpretation before I look at the meaning, of the oracle cards itself. And that was spot on. You can't make that up at all. It sounded just like what I just said. But that's it. Surrender. Let it go. You have to. I'm not religious anymore. Not this very. But I do believe in the same. Sometimes you have to let go and let God. In this case, you have to let go and let the mother do what she has to do. Let the divine, let her, the divine feminine, do what she has to do. Now let's get to the sacred waters. I want to read that for you again. I wanted to read as confirmation about what I said about that. It says, the sacred waters are the life-giving mother of us all. Her healing waters replenish us and give us life. We're made up of her. Like the rose, we need our waters to survive and thrive. We must drop our roots deep to receive the nourishment we so deeply need to appreciate, protect, and honor the very thing that we take for granted. The mother of the sacred waters delivers the message to slow down and take care of yourself, particularly your body, to prioritize your well-being and live in a way that's sustainable. She reminds us to replenish and nourish ourselves and take care of our health all the time, not just when we feel unbalanced. You're being called to nourish and replenish yourself before you become brittle and parched. The mother of the sacred waters wants you to know that there's nothing more important in your life than the care of your own sacred vessel of a body, and the earth is an extension of that. She wants you to treat yourself with tender care, to cherish your body and hers, to feel your well until it spills over, and once it does, to find a way to give back from this place of plenty, to give your body what it's yearning for most before it turns into an urgent need. And the soul inquiry in this book for that card is, what's your body yearning for? And I basically asked you that. What is your sacred water? What is your body yearning for right now in the present that can help you get through this grief? That is confirmation. Like I said, you can't make that up. It is absolutely beautiful, this reading. This is probably one of my favorite readings. If you haven't seen the other readings that I've done, go check them out. But this is so aligned. All of these cards, the Holy Grail, the Sacred Waters, the Great Mother, all of this is referring to getting past your grief. So it's beautiful. I love this reading. I'm very curious though. I wonder what's at the back of the deck. Because you know the most powerful card is at the back of the deck. Let's see. Oh, how beautiful. The Rose Garden. Innocence. Forgiveness. Be gentle with yourself. Wow. I don't think I've ever gotten this card for collective or for myself. This is absolutely beautiful. So what it's saying is, when I see this card, the Rose Garden, innocence, forgiveness, be gentle with yourself, it's telling me that you are in a vulnerable, fragile state because of your grief right now. And the most important thing to focus on is being gentle with yourself. Forgiving yourself understanding your innocence. That's what this is saying to me. That's beautiful. That's right, be gentle with yourself. That's absolutely gorgeous. So today we got a four card reading for you. That is beautiful. I'm so glad I could do that for you. And in return, it's helping me as well. I have to be gentle with myself. Gentle. Let's see what this one is. The interpretation for it. The rose card, because I have never gotten that card before. That is rather unique. 110. I've never gotten that card at all. I've never even read the interpretation. It says, you're holy, and whole. You're innocent and innately good. You're Wally, welcome here. You never got kicked out of the garden. None of us did. This card delivers a message of welcomeness, of returning to our innocence. If you feel as if you've done something wrong without knowing what you've done, if you feel ashamed about hurting someone, if you're finding it hard to forgive yourself, this card is gently calling you to release any shame, judgment, or bad feelings, to do what you need to do, to let go and make amends, to remember that you're human, and as a human you're here to learn and grow, and so is everyone else. You're not broken. You never were. You're a work in progress. We all are. You're learning and unlearning. We all are. Be gentle with yourself, and in turn, be gentle with others. Return to your humanity, your humanness. Remember that you were never perfect, and being human isn't about perfection. It's really not. I must interject. It is not about being perfect. I'm sorry about the noise. My little fairy is giggling. Grow and learn, but do it softly. You have goodness in you. Remember that. Cherish that, and cherish that in others too. We're all doing the best we can. When we learn, we can choose to do something new. Commit to learning and doing better each and every day. This is what it means to be human, to embrace our humanness. Without it, we deny the shadow, and it's through facing the shadow without defense that we can learn and grow. Embrace your humanity, and you'll find it easier to embrace others and the world, and the whole world. Soul inquiry, how can you be more gentle with yourself? Oh my God, that is so nice. And that is so, I just said that. It's about being gentle with yourself. And I just said that at the beginning of the video, where I said sometimes we even blame ourselves for we may have argued with the deceased, or we may have had unfinished business with the deceased. We may have had things we've wanted to say before they passed, and we may have wanted a different outcome before they left and returned to the source, but it didn't work out that way, and we blame ourselves for it, when really those things because those things were unpredictable. I know in my case it was. In this case, I did not know that the deceased in my life was sick. So there's no way you could have known. And that's human.